Join us on the Swim Monkey.
Swim
Monkey
TV. On the Monkey.
Hello. Hey, Joe, you're sitting outside today.
Sitting outside today. It's a nice day. I mean, it rained this morning, but
There you go.
Hi. So it was raining this morning like crazy, and now it's a lot better out here. So I'm just hanging out outside.
Why don't you show everybody your view right now? Turn your thing around. Nice. All right, so I am actually, while you're doing that, getting my tabs ready because we're doing something a little bit different today, Joe. Today I promised to walk through our coaches. First of all, so Joe, as you know, I do a lot of consulting to companies about their social media. So not necessarily in the swim industry. So Ford, some other national companies, as well as some local companies I've consulted with about their digital strategy. And the digital strategy is more important than ever right now because everybody's stuck at home. So everybody's trying to figure out how can they still reach their audience. So more important than ever. And so there's a lot of good takeaways and best practices that I can share with our swim coaches and our dive coaches and our other small business owners, because you've got some great tools to reach your audience right now. So Joe, what are some of the ways that you've been engaging with your swim team, the Blue Dolphins, since you guys are back in the water now, but before that you were doing some kind of neat stuff with them digitally? What were some of the things you were doing?
Well, we're getting a nice little helicopter overhead, but what we
No, can't hear that. You're good.
What we've been doing is, we initially did right when COVID started, March, April. We did a lot of Zoom classes, and we broke them down where the coaches had their different Zoom groups together and did a dryland program with that. We also do we just do videos where we shoot the video ahead of time and then we send it to all of them. We also take clips from other videos, YouTube videos, exercise videos, whatever, and say, okay, we need to do this. Anyway, developing a full program for them to do on their own. Also just meetings. We have a lot of meetings online. What we also did was pretty cool for the parents. The parents are sitting home too. So what we did was each week we had a how-to, a learn, a whatever for the parents, and they actually enjoyed it a ton. And we may have to get back to that because they miss it, they told me.
Yeah, you guys had, you had a dietitian meet with your parents to talk about feeding their athletes. You actually had a financial planner meet with them about things they could be doing right now with the shutdown to save money. You guys did some neat stuff.
We had colleges. We had a college coach and a college advisor come talk to them. So
about the kids that want to swim in college. So there's lots of stuff that you can be doing to serve your team right now that is not in the water, because unfortunately we do still have some teams that are not yet in the water. It's driving us all crazy.
It's crazy.
But so one of the questions I frequently get from the businesses I consult is, what social media, and I'm going to mute your birds, Jeff, right now. So I frequently get the question, which social media should we be on? Should we be on Instagram? Do we have to be on Snapchat? I mean, who the heck does Snapchat anymore? Do we need to be on TikTok, which I'm not sure that you do right now, or, Facebook? What do we need to be on? Well, the answer is always the same. Facebook, you need to be on. That one is a must in this digital age. It is still the elephant in the room. It is still the number one return. So you need to be on Facebook. You need to have an email list. Now, I know Team Unify that most of our coaches are on allows you to email your team. So that's a great way. They're getting their billing, if you have any announcements, anything like that. But you also, there's some free tools, and I'll probably discuss this in a later Facebook Live. There's some free tools that are really great for growing your email list. And why do you want to grow your email list? Well, if you have any prospective parents that are interested but don't yet sign up, they're not going to get emails through Team Unify. Whereas like a MailChimp, list would allow you to add them, and then they could get, a once every other week email out like, hey, check out what's happening at the pool. So it's a great way to market. So email and Facebook are still your best value for return on marketing. That is your best way to reach just about anybody you want to reach. And Twitter, do you need to be on Twitter? Probably not to reach your parents, because not a huge amount of your parents, and let's face it, it's the parents you need to reach. It's your parents probably are not on Twitter looking for a place to join a swim club. Twitter is great for connecting with other coaches, for connecting with the college coaches, for connecting with businesses in your community, which you want to be doing. So they recommend when they hear somebody that's looking for something to do for the summer, hey, Blue Dolphin swim team over in Winter Park at Katy Way is a great place. I hear a lot of good things about them. So that's what Twitter is great for. Instagram. Yeah, Instagram is good, but it has some limitations. So today I'm going to be talking about my number one recommendation. That, of course, is Facebook. So, Joe, I get a lot of questions from business owners about, okay, so I know I need to be on Facebook. And I'm not going to go into the real basics about how to set up a Facebook page. You can just Google that, guys. How do I set up a page for my business on Facebook? And they will walk you through that. I do have questions about, do I need to have a Facebook group or a Facebook page? And what the heck is the difference between them? And Joe, you actually, with the Blue Dolphins, use both of those. And so I'm going to explain real quick what the difference is between the two are. So I have to put on my glasses so I can see. Getting old, man. All right. So right now, this is a Facebook group that I have open. I'm going to have to actually pull that one open. I don't know where I am. Okay. So this is a Facebook group, and it's going to look a little different than our Facebook page. So this one is our Facebook page. So Facebook page, it allows you to be on there as a business. So if you look at some of the key things, it says at Blue Dolphins Winter Park, facebook.com, Blue Dolphins Winter Park. We can do a little logo there. We can change this image from time to time. And then it works about like you would think with Facebook. Sorry, let me scroll down this. You're able to post pictures. You're able to communicate with your prospective as well as your current fans, pictures, team news, upcoming events if you have any. Joe has been sharing a lot of his Facebook Lives. So it's a great way to communicate. But heck, so is a Facebook group. So a Facebook group allows you to post pictures and Facebook Lives. Joe's been doing a lot of that. Actually, it's Kevin Mizell that's been doing that, who also is a Blue Dolphin. So what is the difference? Well, a Blue Dolphin page allows you to control what is posted. You, as the administrator, are the only one that's going to be posting on there. Think of it as kind of an interactive billboard for your business. Compare that to a Facebook group where anybody who's a member can post. So we can see Charlie Rose is posting Facebook news. Brian Donahue is posting news. And so that is how people are using it. Lisa Jordan Roberts. So any member of the group can post. And then if somebody likes a post, this one suddenly is going to be moved to the top, and that'll be the first thing that people see. So it's kind of crowdsourced. Things get bumped to the top based on what people are liking. So it's kind of a democratic look there. Joe, I'm going to mute you again, or Joe, if you'll push mute because I'm hearing some feedback.
Yep.
Thanks. So a Facebook page, though, you control what is seen at the top. You can actually pin the things to the top if you want to. So I'm going to pin this to the top of the page. And so anybody that visits here, that'll be the first thing that they see. So it gives you a slightly different tools. But here's the other thing that is different from a group. So Joe took his senior team to a lake swim when we were on COVID lockdown. It was a fun activity. Let's say he wanted more people to see this. He could click boost this post. And what that would do is that would then give him the ability to show it not only to more people on the team, but also people who are not yet swimmers. So I think we kind of understand that basic. So I'm going to go and talk about how you can use the ad center, and that's what it is. It's really the ad center. Now, Blue Dolphins had not run any ads in the last few days, but we did back when, Joe, we were pushing a new program. So why don't you tell people what that new program was? That was I can't unmute you.
Well,
Sorry.
we were doing some learn to swim stuff, different levels, right? So right when the new kids, parents and kids wanted to learn how to swim, we had a program for that. So we wanted to get out to as many people as possible. Also, the older kids, obviously there's older kids, maybe junior high kids that need to learn how to swim. We also did a program for them. So, you do a quick video, you put some words behind it. You can even, you as the coach, or whoever's listening can also get on there and do a little 5-second deal or 10-second deal and put it up and people can watch it. So we did a lot of that stuff and got some folks that way.
Yeah, so I've gone ahead and shown, you can see exactly what we're being very transparent right now. So we actually did 2 different types of videos. The first one was for our younger kids. Hey, younger kids, if you want to come learn how to swim 1 day a week, it's an introduction to swimming. And we didn't spend that much, 55, 25. And we actually got some registrations out. If we got just 1 registration, it paid for itself at that 55. And then we did another set of videos, and this was for the older kids, because Joe, you had some middle school and high school kids that wanted to stay active. Parents wanted them in the water, so they signed up for 1 day a week. So it makes it very easy to then do that. So let's say I wanted to, let's see, I don't think this is going to show me all the results, but I can create a new ad. So the way you create that ad is by creating an ad. And here you can see I changed this. I would not say start at March 4th, but start maybe August 1st. We've got our program right here, the video that we had done. And then this is the nice thing about marketing. You can choose who you want to reach. So we can choose United States, people living in Winter Park, who are ages 18 to 65. So you get, some young parents and some grandparents in there. You could choose people who like your page, people who like their page and their friend. You can choose people in your local area. And this, you can even say how far out you want to go. And so this is always a good option. So if I wanted to go to just 15 miles out, let's see how many people they have that this would reach. 1.4 million people this would reach if I wanted to do that. So if I wanted to then spend, let's say $50 for the whole thing, then we can go all the way down and reach almost 2,000 people per day that this is running. And I could say, I only want to spend $50 total. And I want to run this through for 5 days, because today's the 10th through the 15th. So the nice thing about Facebook is allows you to really narrow down and target just the people that you want. And that's a big deal. We're not going to be advertising to people in Georgia because they're not going to be signing up for the swim team unless they're moving here. But so that is why you can really target and do just the people in your area. And that is a big deal. So once you do that, you can then submit your ad. It takes a few days to get reviewed and approved, and then you're off to the races. So that's one benefit of having a Facebook page versus a Facebook group. But you can do both. You can get the best of both worlds. So this is Joe's Blue Dolphins, but he also coaches the high school team. So you can see here where he has his groups, and this is one of the standard tabs over here on the left that you will have, and you can create a group. So Joe, you want to talk about how you guys use the group?
Well, we do have high school swimmers that are just high school swimmers, and we want to point them towards a place. So we created a high school group. So anyone that belongs to the high school team can actually belong to that group, and we send messages out all the time. We do our schedule there. We do announcements there. We do meet startup times. We do practice times, practice changes. Anything that involves the high school team, we put it there. Kid makes All-American, we put it there. I mean, just basically it's as much recognition, anything that we can do, news, anything, we put it there so people can have a place to go if they missed an email or if they missed an announcement at practice. They can go there and see all that we've said. So cool.
And again, Kathy Chasser, one of your high school parents, she was, I think, a teen parent. She was able to post in here as well. So it doesn't always have to be you posting. If it is a group,
Sure.
any member of that group can post. Now you can moderate things. Like if you look right here, Kathy Chasser actually was appointed by you, Joe, as an administrator. And you would do that by going to members, and you could choose any one of these to become a, let's say you wanted to make, make an admin, make a moderator. There's all sorts of different levels. And that way, if somebody posts something, let's say you had your rival, let's say you had a boon swimmer come in here and trash talk on your group. Well, first of all, they wouldn't be able to get into the group because you actually can approve who's a member of the group and who's not. But let's say somebody went in there and badmouthed another swimmer. Well, any administrator can go in and delete those posts. So it is a safe place to be able to do that. So what does Facebook want you to do? They want the money. They want you boosting posts. They want you to advertise. So they want you to have a Facebook page, but they also want to encourage community. So they want you to also have a Facebook group. So as of right now, and we know Facebook changes the rules all the time. Right now, though, they are loving those pages that also have a group attached. So it is strongly recommended, if you have a Facebook page, create a group and then add your Facebook page to it. And that way you're getting the best of both worlds. And Facebook sees you not only as somebody who cares about your business, but also cares about your community. So that's a great way to do it. So let's go back and look at the page real quick, Joe, because there are still some cool things that you can get as a Facebook page that maybe some of our swim team coaches out there haven't thought about. So at the top, sorry, let me get rid of that. You can see there's a couple things. There's the ad center, your inbox for messaging, COVID-19 resources if you need it. But look at this one right here, appointments. So Joe, if we scroll down, and actually I'm going to view this page as a visitor. If I were a visitor, they let you do this. So if I were a visitor coming to look at this page, look at the first thing that pops up right here, Joe. Appointment availability, Monday, July 13th, tryout for the Blue Dolphin swim team. So right there, it puts into your visitor's mind, oh, maybe I'll try out for it. And if they click on it, they're going to see Monday at 4 p.m. Then you put their phone number in here and then the appointment, any notes, and they can push book now. So where do you as a coach set this up? Well, I'm going to now go back to my regular view. Sorry. Right here, appointments. So if I click appointments, you can actually appointment settings. And this is where you'll change everything about those appointments. You can name them whatever you want. So you can do the times that you want. You can even do a little picture for it. So this is what ours looks like. Try out for the Blue Dolphin swim team. Please come in for a short assessment. Your child will be asked to swim 25 yards. And we do have for them to show it here. They can even set up a reminder where they get a text the day of to come in for that tryout. So there's all sorts of really cool tools that Facebook is giving us that you need to take advantage of, guys. Another one is the messaging. So if you go to your settings, and let me find messaging right here. Joe, I'm trying to think if we set yours up. We can have an automatic response. I don't think we've set yours up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have a greeting. So we have it right here. Hi there. Thanks for your interest in Blue Dolphin Swim Team. Click Get Started to tell us a little bit about yourself. And if they click Get Started, then they will actually get another automated response that sends them to the website. So why would somebody message you? Well, it happens all the time. People a lot of times will ask you a question by messaging you. Or you can even have a book now where they can go book that actual upcoming appointment for a swim tryout. So the whole idea is to allow your particular prospective parent as many tools to get them to the pool for a tryout as possible. So, Joe, you have tryouts coming in all the time, right?
So yeah, every day at 4:40, we allow people to come in and we do a quick assessment. It takes 5 minutes, and then we can tell them they need lessons, or we can point them to the correct group. And you made a good point earlier about you really want to get to as many. My dad used to call them vectors. As many ways that you can hit people with what you're trying to sell, right? So you can hit them on Facebook, you can hit them on Twitter, you can hit them on Instagram, you can hit them all different ways in the paper, which people don't use, but just a lot of different ways to do it. And this is one good one.
Yeah. So you mentioned a lot of different ways. So we talked about creating that Facebook ad. And this is something that's nice about it. So if you create an ad on Facebook, you can also have it show right on. Am I sharing my screen? I'm not sharing my screen. You can also have it show, Joe, right on Instagram. They give that option. The one thing that you have to have is when you are on Instagram, you want to make sure that you have taken the time. And let me find Blue Dolphins of Winter Park. So I don't know if you all can see this or not, but you have to make sure that you go to the settings. And Joe, you might make me big. I'll do it. So once you're there, you can go into the settings. And once you're there, you want to make sure you go to account and make sure that you have right there, it says switch to a personal account. If it says that, you're in the right place because you want it to be a business account. So Instagram automatically sets up any account that you make as a personal account. They don't know that it's for your swim team unless you go into Instagram, settings, account, switch to business account. And that's a big deal because once you've done that, they're going to ask you to tie it to your Facebook page. And so then when you create an ad, hey, come swim for the Blue Dolphins, not only will it show on Facebook, but they will also place it on Instagram for you. And Instagram right now is probably your second best bet for getting exposure to parents, prospective parents. So you want to make sure that you have those connected. So Joe, one final thought that a lot of people don't think about that they need to be. So if we look here, here's our profile picture that we're currently using. If you go to Instagram, it's the exact same one. You've got to have your branding consistent across all your social media. Don't make parents wonder if it's the same team. And I know we have some cities where you have 2 or 3 teams in the same city and they're all competing for the same individuals to come swim. The same families are saying, hey, come swim for us. And a prospective family needs to know when they see a swim team on Instagram, oh yeah, that's the Blue Dolphins. Oh yeah, that's not. So they want to make sure that your branding is consistent all the way across. And even better yet, up here it says Blue Dolphins of Winter Park. That was actually not available on Instagram, so we did BD of Winter Park. But if you can even make the username consistent all the way across, that is even better. And of course, always make sure you have, take advantage of the little real estate that you have right here. Make sure that those are consistent with everything, wrong one, everything that you have about it. So right there, make sure that your branding is consistent everywhere that you are shown on Facebook or Instagram. And those are really the two that I recommend. Facebook is a mess. Instagram is preferred. Twitter is great to connect with. Joe, you use Twitter really well. How do you use Twitter for your team and your swimmers?
I mean, I don't know if I use it quite well, but
you hit up college coaches, and I mean, you really service your swimmers and your families in that way.
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of. There's planes flying over, so I don't know what's going on, but there's something going on in the air around here. But I do a lot of messages. I do kind of the same thing with swim meets and stuff. I will put times on there for parents. We'll put times on there for the kids. I will put videos that I think they should watch or retweet videos I think they should watch. So I do have swimmers watching my Twitter feed every now and then. There's a lot of other things I try to push, but I may push it through Florida Swim Network just if I want people to pay attention to what I'm saying. or if I want to try to get something across. But yeah, either way, I try to.
And that actually brings up a great, great point. So, Joe, you have uh, BD Winter Park, which is the Twitter for swimming. You also have that on Instagram, but then you also have your personal one, which is Swimmer Joe. And there you talk about being the coach of the Blue Dolphins. So, coaches, that is wonderful if you can set up a team one and then have a second one that is for your personal as a coach. Now, the thing that you have to remember is you're still a public face of a team. So you have to remember that, especially in this day and age when you have to be careful with what you post.
Yeah, because I mean, people are getting
things like that. You want to be careful with what you post, that you are connected very publicly to your team. So whatever you post can have repercussions if you don't keep that in mind.
Yeah, and how many people have we seen gotten fired or gotten in serious trouble over the last 4 months, just in the last 4 months on what they put on Twitter. So yeah, that's what you gotta be careful about.
Yeah, but it is a great way though. So if you post something for the team, you as a swim coach can repost it, you can retweet it, you can comment on it. So use yourself to create some engagement. It's a great trick. If you can encourage your assistant coaches to do the same thing, but remind them that they are still a public face, a public extension of your particular team. So make sure you keep those things in mind, but really they're your best resources. So use them, use them. So again, Facebook is a must. Instagram is preferred because so many parents are on that. They're not really on Twitter. Parents and swimmers are on it, but of course we're marketing to parents, right? And then Twitter, you use in that different way. And maybe Joe, I'll do another one. As you know, Twitter is my favorite, my absolute favorite. But swim coaches, the Twitter world is really active on the swim world is really active on Twitter, but they use it in a different way. That coaches use it to connect with each other. Newspaper journalists, broadcasters, they use it to watch, to find news. You want to make sure you connect with your college coaches that way. So there are ways that we can use Twitter to market our team that's a little bit different than marketing just to parents.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm just looking at my quadruple chin here, wondering if I need to watch Lean Green Dad, which was on yesterday. I need to start doing some of those smoothies. I don't like what I'm seeing.
So Joe, we've had some really great shows on recently. So we had, we had Brooke Bennett on with Seahorse Tales, and the replays all the replays are available. You had the Brazilian special on. Who all did you have?
So we had Flavia Della Royle. She's a Brazilian Olympian from 2004, 2008. We also had Bruno Fratis, 2012 and 2016 Olympian. He'll go again. We also had Coach Bruno Darzi from Coral Springs. This is all the Brazilian episode. And I will tell you and everybody that's watching, we do have a new show starting Sunday at 8 p.m. And it's right after Kara's show. This is a full-blown age group swimming show. USA Swimming and a lot of different other guys are very into the show. It should be a very popular show. And it's called Holding Water. Holding Water. And that is starting this Sunday at 8 o'clock, and super pumped for that one. So be look out for that.
Oh, very cool. And then we also had stories with Sid. I'm trying to think who we had on this last week.
Oh gosh, who do we have? Actually, we have Brian Goodell coming up this Monday, so it's going to be super cool. Brian Goodell on, the mayor of what is he? He's the mayor of Mission Viejo or something. So it's going to be really cool. He
Wait. Do you mean that figuratively or literally?
I think he is.
Wait, but, so the Olympic gold medals actually really ran for the mayorship?
I think so. So definitely, and there's going to be a couple others on there this Monday. So join that show.
Be out of the water. All those swim teams better have the go-ahead from the mayor to be back in the water.
I know. So Brian Goodell's going to be on, and then next Wednesday we'll have another good show with the coaches swim show. So a lot of good shows. We're starting to stack our shows up. We do have another one after that coming with a couple of young coaches where they are doing a really cool thing with videos that you guys are going to want to join, and that'll be out in a week or two. So a lot of good stuff coming on.
All right. So guys, that's it for me. Again, today was this was not the be all end all of Facebook advertising at all. There are people that in my world that specialize on just doing Facebook advertising. And I could spend a month doing 8 hours a day of studying it and still not know as much as they do. It is a rabbit hole how deep you can go with Facebook advertising. I just gave you the very general, hey guys, this is what you can do with it. Start looking at it. Set up your Facebook appointments there. Run an ad. If you get just one sign up, it's worth it. It pays for itself. So mine was just a very, very general glance at Facebook advertising and how if you're not taking advantage of it, maybe you need to start doing it. And the nice thing about it, Joe, is anything that I introduced to you here on the show, there are really great tutorials on YouTube. Just Google, how do I do a Facebook ad? How do I advertise on Facebook? And they will walk you through how to do it, best practices, current best practices. They change from time to time. How do I find my target audience on Facebook? They will walk you through that. So my job is just to introduce you to these cool tools. Your job then as that team owner is to then figure out, okay, how do I make it work for me? So highly recommend you do that. Facebook is a great resource for all its ups and downs and all its controversy. It still is one of the absolute best ways to market your team. So that's it for me, guys. And thanks for tuning in. I'll be next week. I may do a little poll for our coaches and see what it is you guys are in need of. So if it's marketing or if it's apps or if it's coaching tools. So I might do that this week and see what I'm going to talk about next week. So that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Join us on the Swim Monkey.
Swim
Monkey
TV. On the Monkey.